Hey y'all, let's do a 2-day catering event. So I got booked for a 2-day catering event for a Friday and a Sunday. The Friday was for a Bashment brunch, and then the Sunday was for a Nikki Beach Tulum inspired brunch. And I think I said Bashment brunch. I'm sorry, a Bashment party for the Friday. So me and my sister started out by going to our local swap shop. We got some pina coladas to start because it was so hot outside. Hot and rainy has been the weather here in South Florida. We looked at some floral just to see if we would do real floral or to do false floral, and then we picked up a brander because we're going to brand some coconuts that you'll see later on in the video. We bought some zinc for our backdrop. We bought white zinc because we were told that it's lighter than the silver zinc, so we bought some aluminum spray paint, let it sit overnight while we did some other things. And I am about to try, or attempt, shall I say, to do a spray painted background to give us a real Bashment feel. I'm going to drop down below a video that I saw on TikTok that I kind of got inspired from. There were a few really, really nice ones, but this was the one that we mainly just tried to follow through with. And we ended up changing it up just a little bit because we had a really big picture of the birthdays girl's old school pictures from when she was in the Bashment world back in the 90s that we're going to place in front of this backdrop here. And so we decided not to do the beer signs and like the printed posters because, as you can see, when you see the finished product, the poster was a little bigger than we anticipated on it being. So my sister was just directing me through what angles I should place everything and how everything was looking. I was having a little issues with the wind and the heat. Some areas were drying faster than others. Some areas were blowing back. But nevertheless, this ended up coming out really cute. And I really was excited about the final look. As y'all can see, my clothes is everywhere. It was hot, mosquitoes. It was raining at some points. I was just ready to be done with this, but also trying to make sure that it was looking the way that we needed it to look. We realized right here that Denim Town was spelled incorrectly, and that's the spelling that we were given, but we decided to just leave it as it was. And then we're just putting the political parties up here. And I thank God for my sister on this catering and her creativity and her managerial just duties, and how she is able to always navigate through every catering with me. Whatever issues may arise, we're able to overcome them very quickly, and I'm just very grateful for that. And so we're just adding like a bubble effect to these letters, and I'm just going to go back and fill those in with some other colors as well. And this is super fun to do. I feel like God truly stretched my creativity and also stretched my patience with myself. Sometimes I feel like we rely so much on ourselves when we're in business and when we are the owner, the runner, the worker, the recorder. We rely so much on ourselves that we forget that God gave us the business. He gave us the idea. And if we give it back to him, his glory will rest upon it. So always being mindful that God is the author and finisher of our faith, and there is nothing literally that we can do without him. And I feel like that definitely had to be reminded in my mind often throughout this catering, because there were hiccups from tables and chairs, hiccups from things being ordered not arriving on time, and then even with spray painting this zinc to have an aluminum feel, that was like a big process. But nevertheless, like, I couldn't have asked for a better weekend. Everything flowed, everything came out amazing. You'll also see later on in the video that the birthday girl decided to give me a speech, and it was just so beautiful. Everything absolutely great, and I was so pleased that she was so pleased. So yeah, this is our final product, and this is how everything came out. That is our birthday girl right there. So this is night one. This is Friday. Real Bashment theme. As you can see, everyone is dressed in their costumes, and here are a few pictures from the event itself. That is my mom standing in front of one of the balloon towers that we did, and this is the young generation having their own fun. They always have their own separate party outside from the party that the older people have in the backyard. And if I didn't mention it in the beginning of this video, that this is my aunt's birthday party. So my aunt hired me to do a 2-day birthday bash for her, and everything turned out spectacular. Here is Francia. We had her as our bartender for the night. The drinks end up coming out so cute. And I thought everything just flowed the way that it needed to flow in order for us to have a successful event. It's always important to get an idea of what it is exactly that your client wants and what they're looking for, so that you can always try to fulfill what it is that their expectations are in the end. So I'm glad that her expectations were met, but my expectations were met as well. Everything came out spectacular, and this is the end of the night, right before cleanup. And our next day, we got some coconuts pulled down. Our uncle came over. He climbed all the way up to the tree, and he created like this little system where he would use the rope to allow the coconuts to drop down, and then he would pull it back up. Well, we would send it back up, and then he would cut more and send them back down. So that took quite some time. We needed about 40 coconuts in total for our entire party, and they still had to be shaved and washed in water and vinegar so that they could be branded properly. And what I love the most about this business that I'm in, it's not just me. People usually only see me, but it's not just me. We needed all hands on deck, and it wasn't trouble to ask for help from our older family members and from our peers just to help us out to be able to pull this event off. And I'm so grateful for that. This coconut process was not easy at all. We struggled with the branding part after the peeling and the washing because they were so wet. So we decided after branding this one right here that we would just let them dry out and then try again the date of the event, which would have been Sunday morning. But nevertheless, everything ended up coming out great, and you'll see how the coconuts came out later on. Now, the coconuts were supposed to be used for the punch, but they weren't actually used for the punch. We decided not to open them, but open them as the party went on and people drink the coconut water as they like to. So I did some last minute grocery shopping, picked up some fish for our centerpieces. We started the morning with praise and worship, and we got into it. Everybody had a job, everybody had something to do, and we made it work to be able to set up everything that we needed to set up in a timely manner. These are the balloons that we use for our outside event space, and they went right behind our table setup. What we did was set up different stations. So we had like a meat station, we had an appetizer station, we had a bubbly bar, which was just a mimosa station, and then we had a cake table that also had fruit that could be used to just be eaten, or fruit that could be put inside of your mimosa or inside of your coconut if you chose to put the punch inside of it. So as I told you all before, I did not know that the birthday girl was going to give me such an amazing speech. And y'all, I was so tired. I went 38 hours with no sleep. So needless to say, baby, I was just so excited for a successful event, but I could not wait to get in my bed. And this is how the coconuts came out. I loved them. They were so cute, and the coconut water was so good. And this is our bubbly bar for our mimosas. I love how everything just flowed. It was a clean meet between Nikki's Beach and Tulum and Boho, and everything was just perfect. And then this is our food setup. We had jerk chicken, jerk pork, shrimp and grits. We had breakfast tacos, hot wings, barbecue wings, sausage links, mini waffles, and we also had conch fritters that were so good. My husband did such an amazing job on that, and shout out to my dad for the amazing jerk pork and jerk chicken. He always does such a great job. That's why he's the grill master. And the fruit was absolutely delicious. I actually got that from a local fresh market, so that worked out perfectly. And the conch fritters, oh my gosh, everyone was raving about the conch fritters. Those were gone in seconds. I forgot to mention we also had French toast, and we had ceviche as well, and the ceviche had shrimp and conch in it. And I also forgot to mention the plantain cups. Well, they're not cups, but you know, plantain, I don't know what to call them. I guess just plantains with saltfish and ackee on top, and the saltfish and ackee was kind of made like bacalao, so I heard it was really good. I'm not an ackee person, I never tasted it, but I heard it was good. Shout out to Tracy for the bacalao style, the saltfish and ackee. And here is the cake. The birthday girl loved her cake. I did too. It was beautiful. If you want to book with Flossie Mae, here's our information. Contact us Thank you so much for watching this video, and I pray that you know that you are favored and flavored. Bye.